Welcome to another edition of the Giants Guys. I'm John Fennelly. The Giants just completed their mandatory minicamp out in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and our man Chris Bisignano is out there. So we're going to speak to him in a little while. But the Giants will be off for the next 6 weeks, but we will have some exclusive content for you. So don't forget to tune in early and often here at the Giants Guys.
Chris, how are you?
John, I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Excellent. Windy day out there today, huh?
Yeah, beautiful, sunny, but very windy. But a beautiful day. I mean, with the way the weather's been, we'll take it.
So now minicamp is over, and you got about 6 weeks off. What are you going to do?
Spend time and do some stuff with my boys. They'll be off for school next week, and start some summer activities. Actually, heading up to Boston next weekend for a Giant Insider function they have up there with Jerry, and do as much as I could with the boys. So should be good. It'll probably go very fast, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah,
so
I plan to.
Let's talk a little bit about minicamp. The big story going in, naturally, was Odell Beckham showing up without a contract extension. And the coach had a few things to say about that. He kind of put the kibosh on any kind of story anyone wanted to write because there didn't seem to be a story there, right?
No, I'm sure you disappointed a few writers, who were looking forward to writing about him holding out or not showing up or the whole deal. But there's nothing to write. Odell was there all 3 days. He did individual drills on the side. Not team drills, but, watching him, he looks good. It looks like he's ready to go for training camp. So nothing negative coming out of his side.
Yeah, that's good. It's sort of like a compromise. They're not pushing him, and he's showing up. So he's there, but they're not making him do anything that he doesn't need to do. Even though the coach said he was cleared, right? Yeah.
Sherman said he was cleared. He was cleared for practice, but they just didn't want to put him, in the team drills. And Sherman kind of left it at that, and he didn't want to talk about it any further. So
do they think they'll? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, probably one of the reasons why is because of his extension, and that, there's no need to push him, and hopefully this thing gets worked out before camp. And but it'll be interesting, John, if nothing is worked out before training camp, what happens, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to get resolved before camp. I mean, they have plenty of time between now and then to sit down and hammer this out. But, I was thinking that they probably wanted to see him in team drills before they gave him that extension. Now, do you think he'll want the extension before he decides to, get out there in pads or not?
You know what, John? I thought the same thing. I thought maybe you would see him in some team drills, but you know what? Watching him working with the receivers and with the quarterback, he's cutting, he's leaping. He looks like he's 100%.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I saw in the clips that the guys have said to me that he looks like he's ready to go. And a lot of his teammates, from the quotes that I saw and the interviews I saw, they don't see it. Like Sterling Shepard says, I forget he was even hurt.
John, you wouldn't think he was hurt. I mean, you look at him, you would never think he's coming off, a pretty serious injury. Listen, John, if you ask me what percentage would you put Odell at right now, I got to be honest with you, I would put him at 100%. Today he was cutting. I was watching him doing cutting drills, doing outs, doing in, sleeping. He was even dancing. I mean, he's ready to go, John. So we'll see what happens. If they work this thing out before the end of July.
And that's what Pat Shermer said. He said, this isn't the first time a player and a team have had, sat down and, about a contract. I mean, it happens all the time. If you look around the league, there's other fifth-year players or fourth-year players who are going into their fifth-year extension, like Odell, like Taylor Lewan, who was drafted, I believe, right before him.
Yeah.
Zach Martin just got an $84 million extension from Dallas.
Aaron Donald holding out.
Aaron Donald is holding out, right? He was drafted right after Odell.
And how about Julio Jones? Julio Jones is not even in the last year of his deal, and he skipped minicamp.
Right. I think, a lot of people are saying that Jones is holding out because he wants to see what Beckham gets. One could be tied to the other. That's what a lot of people just connect the dots. I don't know one way from the other because Jones isn't saying anything, and the Falcons are pretty much like, we're glad he's not here, so he's not here, he can't get hurt.
Yeah.
That's basically the way they're looking at it.
Yeah, and actually Thomas Dimitrov, oh God, I'm blowing that right there.
Thomas? Yeah.
Let's go with the Falcons GM.
Thomas Dimitrov, yeah.
Dimitrov, I'm sorry. Thank you, John, for that. He actually said that they've actually been talking about new contract with him.
Right.
So, which I'm kind of surprised at. I mean, he's making pretty good money right now, Julio Jones, but obviously he saw some of the deals, guys like Mike Evans got and Antonio Brown, and now he wants to get paid. He feels he's the number one receiver in the league, and now he wants to get paid more money. So,
Jarvis Landry got a lot of money, and he's been productive when it comes to catches, but not when it comes to yardage and touchdowns.
No, I mean, Jarvis Landry's a good receiver, but he's like an 8-yard dink and dunk guy.
Right.
Put it off. He's
got an $80 million deal too. So.
Yeah, he's making about 14 per or something like that. So Julio wants to get paid, and that's the Falcons' problem, not us. And so if he holds it up, see what Odell gets, maybe.
I think that one could be tied to the other, but that's his issue. And Odell is not holding out, and he knows the Giants are going to come through. The Giants are just being a little patient.
Mm-hmm.
They also have the power of the franchise tag if they can't get anything done. Now, the franchise tag is going to pay him top 3 wide receiver money next year. That's what happens. So you get paid a lot. If you look at Kirk Cousins making $20 million with the franchise tag 2 years in a row, it's absurd.
John, it's pretty funny because you're talking about the franchise tag, and so many players hate it. They don't want to be franchised. I got to be honest with you, John. Like you just said, if I was an NFL player and the team wanted to franchise me 3 years in a row, and Kirk Cousins made over $40 million the last 2 years, and it's guaranteed money, I'll be like, go ahead, franchise me every year.
It's more costly than and more cap, detriment to the cap than an actual contract extension.
Yeah, I mean, you see like a guy like Odell is going to make, or you see someone like, some of these other players, like a quarterback, forget about it. Cousins, I mean, look at it. Guaranteed, $46 million or $44 million, whatever he made the last 2 years?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And,
I know it's
he's not a top quarterback either, in my opinion.
No, I mean, he's not a top 5, top 10 quarterback in this league. And here he is, with that guaranteed money. And I know the risk injury, the whole deal with the NFL, I know that. I mean, I understand that. But you know what? If I'm a quarterback and they want to franchise me, he franchised me. It's a lot of money guaranteed, John.
They can only do it twice, but that you get top 3 money, and sometimes top money, depending on how the other quarterbacks strike their deals.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brady takes a cut, Breeze takes a cut, just to keep the cap friendly, but they front load their contract, and that's why Cousins was the highest paid during those seasons, because his money was all guaranteed. There's no deferment. Yeah,
it's all guaranteed. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, well, go ahead, franchise me, but it's all guaranteed.
I don't think it'll come to that with Odell. I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll get something done. They want him for the long term. He seems to be maturing or matured. I think he got the memo. The new coaching staff, they're not taking any guff from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give guys a little attitude, but this is a professional outfit, and that was my next thing I was going to go on to about the coaching staff. When you see these guys out there, what do you think the difference is between this coaching staff and the coaching staff they had last year when it comes to dealing with the players and running the operation?
A lot more football professionalism. That's the way I guess I'm going to put that. As far as Shermer goes to each position and coaches them up. McAdoo didn't. McAdoo stayed with the offense.
Yep.
Shermer seemed to have everybody's attention on the field, where at times I felt players on the Giants last year didn't have McAdoo didn't have their attention. You understand where I'm going with this? It's like,
Yep.
You know, John. Jack Rabbit yesterday talked about focus, and he felt he had to focus more, and maybe that was lacking last year. So I kind of jumped on that, and I asked him at the presser, what do you, Jack, I said to him, I asked Jack Rabbit, do you feel that focus maybe was an issue last year with the secondary and, in the locker room? And he said, no, we just have to realize that, we can't take a play off. But I read between the lines. And if you read between the lines, John, I'm around, listening to these guys talk all the time. Last year was a clown show in the locker room. Clown.
Yep.
There was no respect. There was no 60-minute focus. Guys' heads were elsewhere. Jack Rabbit even mentioned something yesterday about how guys were calling each other out last year in the secondary players.
That's right.
And I'm not talking about it in a good way, John. I'm talking about calling each other out when they made mistakes in a bad way.
Yep.
You know what, John? To me, that spells the head coach has lost the locker room. So you're asking me, what's the difference? Here's the difference I see so far, big time, is that everybody is focused. Everybody's intense. Everybody's all in. And I think they realize they have a professional football coach here, and they like it. Football players, no matter what they say, they want to be coached up.
That's correct.
That's what I see with this coaching staff a little bit more than last year. And I'm not even going to get into how we lost the locker room respect like that. The story. I've gone over before.
That's right.
But I sense, John, that hey, the Giants get off the 0-2 start. It's not going to be bickering. Not going to be the backstabbing. It's not going to be, guys looking to, start stuff in the locker room. I just sense it's truly professional coaching staff, and I would say, John, that's the biggest difference right now in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's night and day from what I can see. And, they had a little scuffle on the field today between Snacks Harrison and Will Hernandez, the rookie.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Sherman, he got out there and he just diffused it very quickly. And, it didn't seem to faze him that, there was a fight. He didn't get upset. He just said, we just took the guys off the field until they calmed down, and they don't come back until they calm down.
Yeah, listen, and I love coaches tell you when guys have a little scuffle, they like it. They like the intensity, But what Sherman didn't like is that, Snacks appeared to have, tried to take a swing at Hernandez with his helmet,
Yeah, that's a little dangerous, yeah.
So, listen, there's one thing guys, scrapping and fighting, the whole deal. And then there's a whole other issue when, a guy takes a helmet and tries to hit another player with it. That could cause serious injury. So Sherman, Sherman didn't like that.
Like Lyle Alzado that time.
Yeah, well, Lyle had some other stuff running through his body that made him a lunatic, at times. But, listen, Sherman didn't like it. When asked about this, the helmet swinging incident, you could tell he said he didn't like it, and I'm sure Snacks will be addressed. Listen, Snacks is a pretty intense guy out there himself. Will Hernandez is a very intense guy. I put it on Twitter before. This is going to be that is the first of many that's coming between those two.
Yeah, and not just those two. I think that the Giants finally have offensive linemen that are willing to fight. Is a good thing. They didn't have any fight in them the last couple of years.
This offensive line is not only do they have a little edge to them, they are big guys, John. I mean, This is one. If Halapio gets that started job, I asked Sherman about that today. He gave me. I don't know if it's an open competition, but obviously right now, John Halapio, he's been with the ones. It's his job to lose. And he's a big powerful guy. He's a big powerful guy himself.
He's bigger than the guy he's going. He's up against
He's
for
bigger
the
than
job in Brett Jones. He's bigger than him.
Yeah, he's bigger and stronger than Jones. You know.
Yeah, Jalapeno. I mean, they kind of walked right into him. Last year he was on the team. He played a game or two. And I think he played at guard, but now they're trying him at center.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be one of those things where, you know, you luck into a guy. That's what they need to do. That's what they needed to do on the offensive line. They need to get lucky. They need to get good, and they need to get lucky with some guys.
Yeah, you know, that's the way these things happen, John, in these OTAs and then training camp. All of a sudden, you kind of like a guy start, you know, they kind of stumble into a guy, like what's happening with Curtis Riley right now at the safety position.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, here's a kid that, you know, is a cornerback, slated for cornerback, beginning of OTAs, and now here he is with the ones playing safety. And, you know, and James Beckett talked about him yesterday.
Right.
Saying they really like his range. They really like him, you know. And so here's a guy who went from what, fourth, fifth corner look, you know, depth wise, and boom, here he is now with the ones. Not saying he's going to win that job, but
using
him
him in nickels and packages, you know, which they do often. This is a team. This is a defense that nobody can really put their thumb on what this defense is exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a 3-4? Is it a 4-3? Is it a run-stopping defense? Is it a pressure defense? You know, they claim that it's a pressure defense, but you know, when they have 6 defensive backs on the field, I don't understand how it could be a pressure defense. I mean, he just changes things up almost every play. He's got different personnel out there.
Yeah, but you know what, John? It's going to be a pressure. I mean, even if he's got a dime package out there, you'll see a guy coming off the slot. You know, you're going to. Fletcher believes in aggressiveness, and you know, no matter what personnel, I've been watching him in these practices, and like you said, like sometimes he's got a dime in there. If he's got a dime in there, boom, 2 guys are coming in from the slot, or
somebody's
corner
coming in. Yeah, sure.
You know, or you'll see the inside back. You know, you'll see him blitzing the 8 gap. So no matter what personnel Betcha has on the field, it's going to be an aggressive defense, John. It's not like it's okay. We're in the nickel for a first down, we're in the dime on third down, and we're going to drop 6 guys. No, they're going to go after the quarterback.
Yeah,
and he's going to live and die by that. And Betcha made a great point yesterday too. He goes, this comes down to beating the man in front of you. You know what I mean? And that's our focus. Right. Let's beat the man in front of you. You know what, John? It's something like that's at the beginning of this game. You know, if you don't beat the man in front of you, you're not going to win. So
that's football in general. If you don't beat the guy in front of you, you know, you don't win those individual battles, you're not going to win. You know, as a team.
And that's what Betcha was talking about yesterday. You know, he's a big believer in that. We focus on beating the guy in front of you. So he's going to be sending John. I think you're going to really like this defense, and I think Betcha's going to live and die by aggressiveness. Not going to be like, okay, let me send William Gay from the slot, and we get beat for a touchdown. So that's it. I pack it in for the game. We're not going to play aggressively. No, that's not going to happen.
No, they just keep coming. You know, he's got a wave of guys too. I mean, they have a lot of talent on defense. You know, Colin Coward said the other day that they have 4 elite players on defense. They have Collins, Snacks, Ogletree. He called him elite, and Jackrabbit. He said those are 4 Pro Bowl level players on one defense, and that's pretty good to have. That's a pretty good start.
Who said that, John? I'm sorry. Who said that?
Colin Coward.
Oh, Colin Coward. Okay. Yeah, well, I agree with Colin Coward. I agree. He's right. You know, and you know, John, I'll tell you another one. You know, they got 4 Pro Bowl quality players, and they got a couple of guys right on the cusp of the Pro. You know, making a Pro. That's Dalvin Tomlinson. You know.
Yep. He was all rookie last year.
And I know people, you know, are not going to want to hear this, but the other corner is another possibility too. You know, with Eli Apple.
Well, he's another guy who the light's gone on. He's turned the corner.
Right. I believe he's going to have a very good year. And I tell you what, John, I'm going to make a prediction now as far as a whole rookie team, not Pro Bowl, but a whole rookie team with this B.J. Hill kid. So lot of talent out there, John. A lot of
They
talent.
stumbled into him too. I mean, he was one of their third rounders, but you know, nobody really thought a lot of him. You know, because he's on a defense with Chubb. Chubb got all the spotlight. He ate up the scenery. But he'll play next to Chubb at NC State.
Yep.
And you know, if you're looking at films of Chubb, you know, B.J. Hill's, you know, you're not going to miss him. But he played well also. You know, I don't know if it was because he was next to Chubb, but you know, Chubb could have been better because he was next to Hill.
Yeah, that's the way it works. You know, on defense, that's the way it works. You know, and this kid Hill, I mean, you know, he's going to be starting too. I mean, unless he has a horrific camp. I mean, he's slated to be starting himself. You know, so pretty good draft by Gettleman, John. You're looking at, you know, 3 starts. You know, with Hernandez and obviously Saquon and B.J. Hill. You know, so
now with Saquon, according to him, he says he only dropped 1 pass since he's come to the Giants in all the practices, 14 workouts. He said he's only dropped 1 pass. Is that true?
Well, I wasn't there at all the OTAs, but I can tell you this, John. At every practice that I was at, that there was media access, he did not drop 1 pass. And you know what? When he was asked that yesterday, he had to think about it at first. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
He had to think about it. And then he was like, oh, I believe I dropped 1 and so. So I'm not even sure he even dropped 1. He might be talking about something on the sideline because, you know, he's got unbelievable hands, and he's just a remarkable talent.
He's such a dominant player. You know, defenses will have to game plans for him. There was a game at Penn State. There's one play. I looked at the films. I was looking at the films the other day where he was going to run left, and 5 defenders committed to the left side. As soon as the ball was snapped, the quarterback faked the handoff to him and ran for a touchdown around the right end. They all followed Barkley. That's how much the defense committed to stopping him. And no one touched the quarterback. They didn't even realize he had the ball. He just ran right into the end zone. I mean, that's the kind of player he is. And once he gets past the line of scrimmage, with those thighs, the Saquads, he's going to be tough to bring for a smaller guy to bring down.
And you know what, John? All the practices that I've seen, every route he runs out of the backfield, especially the wheel route, nobody has been able to stay with him. Nobody. So he's going to be, listen, opening game against Jacksonville is going to be, it'll be fascinating to watch because Jacksonville has 2 quick linebackers in, Miles Jack and Telvin Smith. It'll be fascinating to watch how they match up with Saquon Barkley because and I'm telling you, John, Sherman's going to be using him a lot out of the backfield.
Yeah, but, if you're going to put 2 guys on him, that frees somebody else up.
Absolutely, John.
That's what's great about this offense and this personnel. You can't double anybody. If you do, Eli's going to do his Larry Bird. He's going to hit the open man. That's it. Boom. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
It really is, John. It really is. Like you said, okay, you're going to double Odell. Okay, then Shepard and Ingram can slice you up. Or Barkley out of the backfield. You know what I mean?
Somebody's either they're all on single coverage and somebody may be on zero coverage.
You might be right with that. Listen, when teams play the Giants, the defensive coordinators are going to have to come up with either we're going to drop back here or we're going to attack Eli and hope we get him because if we give Eli time, he's going to kill us. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see how they attack the Giants, beginning, with Jacksonville.
So now, this is my pet peeve with the Eli haters of the world. He can't throw the ball deep anymore. From what I saw this spring, there's nothing wrong with his arm.
No, not at all. There's nothing wrong with Eli's arm. Eli's arm is real strong. I don't know who would say that, but whoever's saying that, John,
they're saying a lot of these people are saying he's finished. They haven't seen him. That's why.
Well, I was just going to say, John, whoever's writing that or saying that on TV or whatever it might be, social media, whatever it might be, they obviously are not at the field watching Eli. Because if you're actually there next to him and watching him, no way you could say that to feel like he's throwing the ball with a lot of zip, John, a lot of zip. Not worried about his arm at all. Yeah.
He's got a good arm. The other guy, Webb, is saying he's got a better arm. And Lauletta is trying to compare him to Jimmy Garoppolo now. I mean, all of a sudden they went from needing a quarterback to not needing a quarterback for a long, long time, if that's the case.
Well, John, a lot of that is attributed to, there's a short. Everybody's got shorts on, defense not, attacking some things, and so. But we'll see in a couple months. We'll see. I mean, but Davis Webb, he's an impressive young man too, man. He's a big kid with a cannon arm. He's impressive.
Yeah, I think they've got enough to get themselves into contention with this roster.
Oh, no question, John. No question. This is a playoff type roster. There isn't a question in my mind about it. So and it all comes down to the offensive line. Why so much the offensive line is because the Giants are stacked with weapons, John. And if this offensive line plays well and gives Eli time, I mean, I think the days of not scoring 30 points in a game are going to be over.
Yeah, I mean, 19 points a game 2 years ago, down to 15 points a game last year. You want to get back up to 26, 27, 30 points this year. If they do that with the defense they have, you're looking at a number of wins there. A good number of wins, double digits.
Yeah. Listen, health is going to be, if Odell stays healthy, if everybody stays healthy, I expect to see a very productive offense, John, a very productive offense.
All right, let me ask you a question. They've been signing tight ends like every week. They've got 7 tight ends and a fullback. I mean, they're only going to keep 3 of these guys. I mean, why do they keep signing all these tight ends? What do they do with them?
I think they want serious competition for that third tight end spot. They're not sold on anybody for the third tight end. So they're bringing guys in to see who can win that. Listen, this coach says about competition too, John. They look at it as more than area.
Yeah, but they only have 5 running backs, and they got 7 tight ends. I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, they must be happy with the running backs they have, obviously, and not happy with the tight ends that they have outside of Ingram and Red Ellison. I just believe that they bring in for that third tight end spot. They want the competition, and they're going to look at 4 different guys for that third tight end spot. Yeah. And some of them aren't very big either. I mean, this Garrett Dickerson they brought in isn't big, and the other guys, O'Malley, Kyle Carter was in Minnesota, and so was this Simonson, I believe, Scott Simonson they brought in this week. I think the guys that Shermer had worked with in the past.
Simonson was a Carolina Panther last year.
He was a Panther. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He was injured reserve last year.
Can he be a practice squad guy? I mean, you still have. They have 2 spots for veterans, quote unquote veterans on the practice squad now that they went to 10. Yeah. And I think it's less than a year accrued NFL season. Everyone else can go back on the practice squad if you don't have a full accrued NFL season.
Right.
They keep changing the rules. I got to look at that.
Yeah, I think that is. I'm not 100% in that rule either. I think you got it correct though, John.
You could have 2 veterans. I think the veterans have to have 2 or less NFL accrued seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because, instead of expanding the roster, which I think they should do in the NFL from 53 to maybe 56, they don't want to do that. I don't know why the union doesn't push for that, but, the CBA is, they're not going to open the CBA back up to do that.
That's going to come up in the next CBA for sure, especially if the league pushes to 18 games. So if the league pushes to 18 games, they're going to have to do that. I mean, the players don't want 18 games, and me personally, John, I hope they never do that. That's too much. But if they do that, then without question, the roster is going to have to be expanded.
Yeah, they'll have to expand the rosters, and I think that the expansion of the practice squad last year to 10, or was it the year before? I'm not sure. That was the concession they made to keep more guys in, under roof, that you could use. Because a lot of times you have so many injuries, you don't have enough guys to practice.
Yeah.
So you'll need some of those guys. Yeah. They're lucky to even fielded a team at the end of the season.
Yeah, like you said the last time we talked, it looked like they were picking up guys in a park lot to play receiver at the end of the year last year.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Sometimes
you go to the game and say, I wonder if I'm going to get into that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, John? That's another thing. Hopefully it's a positive sign, John, that they went through these OTAs and the 3-day minicamp with no significant injuries. Because other teams have had significant injuries already. So that's. I'm hoping, John. That's a sign of the time for this season. Maybe cut down. Maybe we'll get a little lucky with the injuries.
Right. When they went 11-5 2 years ago, their injuries they had the fewest injuries they've had in a decade.
Mm-hmm.
But, they weren't good enough to advance, but they did get to the playoffs.
Yeah, and last year they were decimated with injuries, and and people want to talk about Eli. Come on, man. He was working. The last 2 games of the year, he was working with nobody. So
I know.
So hopefully, John, that's a positive sign that maybe we'll get, maybe the football gods will be, smile down on the Giants this year, and they don't have any big, and then let's not forget of all the injuries, it was like impact guys too. Odell,
key players,
John.
Yeah,
key
players.
Guys, key players. So
you can't, as Deion Sanders used to say, you can't help the club from the tub. And they had too many guys in the tub. Let me ask you this about Eric Flowers. Were you there when he was interviewed yesterday?
Was I there? Yes, I was there.
Yeah. He looks like he's happy to be there. He even said he was happy to. They put him at right tackle now. He seems to be getting it. He's only 24, and he's big enough. He's got the ability. I think it was just a lack of focus on his part, and he may have been overwhelmed at left tackle. I think he could be a viable right tackle in this league. What do you think?
Remains to be seen, John. Remains to be seen. Hal Hunter, the offensive line coach, has been around a long time.
Yep.
He's working with him. It all comes down to mechanics, and technique with Flowers. He's got terrible technique, John. And it hasn't improved, in the 4 years he's been in the league. He's got bad hand placement at times. He drops his head a lot at times.
Discipline, yeah. Do you think moving to the right side, where he's not on the quarterback's blind side, that that's a good move for the Giants? It's obviously a good move for the Giants to get him out of left tackle, but to put him on right tackle, they don't really have another guy to put there.
Well, that's why I believe Flowers is there, John. Why he's the starting right tackle is because the Giants just don't have anybody to play right tackle.
According to the roster and depth chart I'm looking at, they only have 4 tackles.
Yeah. Don't forget, John.
One of them is Nick Becton, and the other one is Chad Wheeler.
And then they just brought in this Jones kid too. They signed a couple of days ago.
Okay, so all right. I don't have him down yet.
Yeah, they just brought this Jones kid in.
Jared Jones. Yeah, Jared Jones.
Yeah, Jared Jones at Notre Dame.
Who was originally a defensive player in college at Notre Dame.
Yeah, he was a defensive tackle in college. Yeah.
Oh, he was here last summer. He didn't make the team.
Yes. Yeah, he played in, I believe, 4 games with the Giants, exhibition games with the Giants.
Yes, he played the whole exhibition season, and then they let him go, and now he's back. So hopefully he's somebody they can use, because he's certainly big enough, 6'6", 320, whatever he is.
Yeah, and you could slide. In emergency situations, you could slide John Jerry out at their right tackle. They had it. He's done that before with the Giants. Not very good, but he's done that before with the Giants. And
I can't believe he's still on the team. But you know what?
Yeah.
He himself has not performed poorly. He's not a star, but he hasn't performed that poorly. He was one of the the bright spots on a terrible unit.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a little surprised. Hey, he took a pay cut. I guess that made him survive a little bit more.
Yeah.
On the roster.
When you do that, when you give back to the team, that says a lot.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if he makes the squad. So right now, the tackle position is very thin, John. Very thin.
Yes.
Popovich Sola gets hurt. Flowers goes down. You're looking at a Wheeler stepping in there, and
I think that they may be looking as the summer goes on and training camp goes on, and maybe even after the cuts, they'll be looking to bring maybe a veteran in.
Yeah, I believe so.
That would be the spot where they need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you'll see a veteran for that. No doubt about it. I think you're going to see a veteran kicker coming in August too.
Yeah.
To compete against Rosa. So I'll be shocked if they don't, John. I'll be shocked if a veteran is not brought in here in August.
Yeah, they can only do so much to this roster. I mean, the last couple of months. I mean, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Far from complete, but they've done a great job so far, what I could see.
Yeah, and you could just tell how they stress competition. They're always bringing guys in, like you said. Look at the tight end position, like you just mentioned. And look how many bodies they have there. It's competing, but basically the third spot.
And the special teams, guys like Michael Thomas and Cody Latimer. Cody Latimer is showing what he can do on offense too. So it's guys like that, guys who could play the game. Team guys, and that's what I like about it. I like about this roster is that they're getting back to basics, and they're taking guys who may not be A-listers, but they're B-listers. You get enough B-listers, that makes for a good team.
I like a lot of players talk about the look in players' eyes. The coaches are talking about it. They just seem to really love being out there. The intensity. Today was supposed to be, John, basically today was supposed to be like a little walkthrough, doing a few things and, wrap it up in an hour. Sherman did wrap it up in an hour, but then, as a fight breaks out in the middle of it. I mean, today was like one of those days, the mood in the building was, all right, let's do a little walk. We'll work on a few things, and then everybody's going to jump in their cars and head,
It's like a getaway day, It's like the last day
like
of school,
getaway day, right. Right. Everybody gets in their cars, and they go where they have to go for the 5 weeks until the grind starts, But hey, here we are, boom, and then you see Hernandez, and you see Max Solaz,
Yeah.
So, I was talking with Dalvin Thompson yesterday. He was talking about how guys just love being here. They can't wait to compete. Can't wait to put the pads on and get going. So it's all positive, John, right now. It's all positive. So we'll see.
All right. So for the next 6 weeks, they're going to be off. And I think Sherman said at the end of practice today that July 22nd, the rookies, the quarterbacks, and some selected vets, he didn't say who, we're going to come in on the 22nd of July. And then on the 25th, the rest of the team was going to come in, and that's when training camp will start. So we got a definitive date on training camp.
Yeah, so if I know Eli's coming in on the 22nd, for sure. He's coming in. And then 25th, the whole squad reports. They do their last physicals, and then the 26th will be the first practice, if that schedule stays the same.
And then they're back to doing, before they play the Lions, I think, in the second week. They're going to go out there and practice with them.
Yes, Sherman scheduled a 3-day joint practice with them, which is he likes doing that. Players like it, John, because they find they get to compete against another jersey, and because it gets so monotonous at training camp.
Yeah. And I think it's good to travel. I mean, they're in the building every day. To get out of the building and go somewhere else to do it is very helpful.
Yeah, Belichick does it all the time, and I think if Bill Belichick does it, it's probably a pretty good idea, John.
Yeah.
Maybe
Coughlin did it.
Yeah, Coughlin did it too. Yes.
Yeah, he likes to do that too. I mean, it all depends on the situation. You don't want to travel too far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good to have a scrimmage with somebody else. You're right, a different color jersey to go after. It's interesting, and I'm just so psyched. I'm so psyched right now. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next 6 weeks. USA Today is going to be looking for me to do some stuff, and Jerry at the Giants Insider, I owe him a couple of articles. So you got to save up your rainy day material for this 6-week layoff.
Yeah, it'll go fast, John. I know you sound like you're pumped up for the season coming up, and covering the Giants, and the fans should be pumped up. I know everybody in the building's pumped up, John. So it'll go fast. Before you know it, buddy, we'll be talking about training camp practices.
That's right.
It's a good time.
All right,
of year.
Chris.
It's a good time of year.
Yep. Well, it's good talking to you again, and we'll talk soon.
Okay,
and,
John. Enjoy your summer, buddy. I guess I'll be speaking to you, and I'll be on the July 26th and 27th.
Yeah. When training camp is in full force, we'll speak again.
Yes, we will. Thank you, John. Enjoy.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Take care now.
All right, bye-bye.